you know, I think the biggest flaw in a lot of my videos probably will be the simple fact that I don't want it to be scientifically speaking or very research oriented. I want it to be just kind of like my take, like my serious thought and thinking on a thing. But I mean, I will look into certain things just so I'm not inherently like fully ignorant on it. But I mean, I don't know. I feel like I don't want to be a doc. No, I'm never gonna. Well, you don't know. I could be a doctor someday, fixing these hoes, giving them some new, new life, new energy, new vibes. I mean, Doctor Blue. Period. But no, I was up earlier in the morning. Well, not today, but I was up earlier this day that I'm making this video or making this podcast, and you know, it was like 3 o'clock, and I got up and I was like, God, I'm gonna just try to, start praying more, start giving my first, because you're supposed to give a first fruit, and I haven't been doing that lately, but I'm gonna try my best or whatever. So, giving my first and all that, and I prayed and stuff, and then after I laid down, I couldn't go to sleep. Well, I won't trying to go to sleep because I was up. I think I had slept maybe about a good 6 hours or whatever. No, that's probably too much, man. Maybe a good 4. And I'm just sitting there and I'm like, well, I don't want to get up, but I want to, I don't know. I just laid there and I just started watching videos. I was watching this lady. She's been, I mean, it feels like every time, every new season of my life, there's always a new person in order to like help me maneuver and steer this thing or whatever. And I mean, she's been a little help here and there. I don't think she has all the answers, but I mean, hey, God can use whoever, and I'm not one to judge anybody. I try not to judge anybody because as I had a conversation with my mother the other day, like, who am I? You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I have my flaws, but the only thing about it is I always address it and I always accept what I've done, who I am, or what I'm doing. I don't have to hide anything. I live a loud and bold life, even though I like peace and I like my quiet time and I like being, away from everybody else. I really do. But I also enjoy my honesty and my integrity and my values and morals and how strong I am in who I am. But that's off topic. Anyway, as I was as I was up as I was up, I just began to get, some people say downloads, but I got these ideas and I started thinking about things. And one topic that came to mind, and I titled it, I wrote it down because I didn't want it to leave me, but I've thought about it. It's not something that, just came up, but it's body language. And the kind of body language that I'm referring to, it's not necessarily, facial expressions or you being uncomfortable and people being able to read your auras and stuff like that, but it's the kind of body language that speaks when your life is tired of the direction. I mean, yeah, honestly, yeah, your whole existence, your being is tired of the direction you're going in, is desiring more, wanting you to go somewhere else, wanting something more, wanting new nutrients and better refreshment, better a little restoration or whatever to occur in your life. And I thought that would be a good idea for a topic, or a good idea for me to elaborate on and express, what happened to me. And I don't know, just how people can really start to stop calling start looking at things more spiritually, but not crazy, because there are certain things that happen that you have to take medicine for, you have to go to the doctor for, you have to do X, Y, and Z. But even still, I've began to realize and notice a lot of things that happen to me, they're not happening to me. It's kind of like, for me, this is not everybody, but it's like signs, and it just is kind of like little navigators trying to get me to go in another direction. And I mean, yeah, I think that'll be excellent for me to dive into and just share my experiences with that. I'm honestly, it's like it's fresh on me. I haven't really researched it and I haven't really practiced talking about it. So so as I'm just like recording, I'm really like spitting off the dome. And I don't know. I think me thinking about it too much right now is giving me these brain farts. So I just need to relax. Let's all do that. Let's take a light woo sound, like a and then whatever. But no, um, body language. Yeah, like aches and pains and moans and groans. It's kind of like the earth. It's like as the earth groans, for the children of God. I feel like so does the body, because it's like we're all one big plant, like not together, but together we are. We're supposed to be connected. We're supposed to commune and really live to serve each other, because I don't understand how we got to the point where it's just about our lineage and our line, but we were all here to serve a purpose, and the purpose ultimately is bigger than us. So that means we need to come together so that we can fulfill that. But I mean, we're all just one big plant, and I believe heavily in taking care of your body, and not just this exercise or to look good kind of way, but taking care of your body spiritually, mentally, physically, and in whatever other way people can think of. And knowing that a lot of times, the direction that you're going in life is because of how certain things are playing out. And a lot of the actions that we do take are reactions to certain things. Like if you're stressed, some people eat, some people starve themselves. If you if you're sad, some people cry, some people get angry, some people try to ignore it. I mean, I can go down the list of things and then how people react to it or respond to it, but ultimately there's always certain things that each person does, and everybody does things differently. But inheritedly, I feel as if, though, it takes a toll. Whatever thing we do, if we don't handle it, or if like we don't address it properly and give it the attention that it deserves and it requires, then it's going to be stored on the inside of us, and then it sits in certain places and parts of our lives. Like with the mouth, I have this one instance where I was in a position, and I had been praying and asking for an answer on what I should do and where I should be going with my life, and just waiting on God. And I was giving God a lot of my attention and a lot of my time. And I don't regret that. I would do it. I'll do it to the ends of the earth. But it came to a point where I needed to leave, and I feel as if, and some people say you can't, you shouldn't listen to your feelings. But one thing about it is, if you don't listen to your feelings, how will you feel God? How will you know what God is saying? Because every instruction that we receive on this earth has earth earth has not been written down and established in the Bible. You know what I'm saying? God is not going to tell you to talk to a specific person in the Bible. God does not give you specific things on how to look and present yourself. And well, I mean, he does, but like some people may, like, I heard this story, one thing about one of my mom's friends, and she, I guess didn't really know what to wear or something. I don't know if this was an illustration what my mother was discussing or what, but some people take it that serious. And I mean, I'm not here to judge and say whether or not it is that serious, whether you should wear the blue dress or the red dress or whatever. But at the end of the day, my thing is, if you feel it in your heart to wear a certain thing, and who knows, like, let's say you go to a business meeting, right? And there's partners there or whatever, or you just going somewhere, and then there was a man or whatever, a woman, whoever you are, looking for a specific, I don't know, they weren't looking for a specific thing, but it was the color. It was the color that you had on that drew them to you. And some people will be like, well, I mean, if I didn't draw them, then I didn't want them no way. But I mean, the thing about it is, if you don't listen to your heart, your intuition, you're gonna miss out on a lot of things because you didn't acknowledge your feeling. Like I feel like a feeling is a very valid thing, and I feel as if people should not ignore it or feel like, you know, God can't speak through your feelings. I feel like he can, and I feel like a lot of blessings, and not even I feel, I know, because I've lived it. I've experienced acknowledging and accepting and walking in my feeling, because that is one way for me that I know where I hear God. I don't hear this audible voice. I don't understand, sometimes, and I mean, I don't think a lot of people do, but they don't categorize it as feeling. I feel like when you feel like you've heard God and it starts to develop into this knowing, because it's like there's so much assurance behind it that it can't just be this like, oh, I feel like I'm about to get sick, or, and I mean, I don't know, it's just weird. But that also, in my opinion, the feelings go into body language, because I felt things. I like I was saying about the story, I didn't finish it, but needing to tell my bosses that I necessarily wasn't going to be there any longer, or didn't want to be there any longer, my mouth started to hurt. And it was like, that pain was so ridiculous to me. It's like it sat there, it sat in my mouth, and it was specifically in this right jaw until I said it. Now, I told my manager, which, I mean, he didn't really do anything about it. I told him that I think I was contemplating leaving, and that wasn't necessarily what I needed to say. So after I said that, my mouth, I mean, it still hurt, but it was a release. It was a relief, but it wasn't fully gone. And then when I told my supervisor that, yeah, I wanted to leave X, Y, and Z, it was over. It was like, the pain was out. And I mean, to me, it's not even just things like that, but I get like little things in my chest sometimes, and it's just like, I don't know, it's like, what are you saying, like, what's going on? And I don't even know if I'm really gonna put this up, but I feel like it is very important to understand, what is my life, what is my body, what is this instrument trying to tell me, what is it trying to feed me. And some people will classify it as the feeling. I'm back on feeling, because some people, we have been instructed not to, I mean, not everybody, but some of us have been taught and coerced into not believing or trusting our feelings, because we are human. But my thing is, if I was made in the image of God, right? I'm not God, but I was made in his image. And so I respect his image. I respect everything that comes through me, because it is just like him. Now, there's in my opinion a difference between knowing the word of God and knowing who God is, and then knowing who you are, and knowing, the tricks and things that are not good. And so my thing is, it's just kind of like, if the first three are good, knowing who God is, knowing his word, and then knowing who I am, because who I am was said to be a blessing to God. God cherishes and delights in me and wants to dance with me and do all of these things. So the first three are good. Then the third must be anything that does not give me courage, give me strength, give me understanding, give me knowledge, or assure my visions and dreams. Because I'm sorry, I know that we are meant to establish kingdoms and establish royalty and wealth and generational health and love and peace and growth on this earth, not just for our people, but for all people. But a lot of people don't get to that part, because they don't trust their feeling. They come up against a little bit of opposition, and then it just shuts down. And I feel like, for me personally, I know that if I was to shut down every time something didn't go my way, like, for me, I always have this feeling, this thing on the inside of me when I'm not doing what I should be doing. And ultimately, it kind of like induces a semi depression. I don't want to call it that, but that's low key what it is. I mean, I know there's sadness, and then there's just like, you're just really, really sad, but then depression. And I don't want to play with depression, because I feel like there was a whole, not era, but a whole period where people were just proclaiming they were depressed. But I know what it felt like for me, and I feel like it's different for everyone. So I'm gonna just back off of that one. But just not acknowledging certain aspects about who I am and what I should be doing and what I know I should be doing, it was like feeding the darkest parts of me instead of bringing light into my life. and it started to show in my body language. But then when I started, this is a very, I feel like the topic requires a lot of bits and pieces of my life and what I've experienced to help me understand my body language. Because one, in my opinion, if you don't speak well about yourself, if you don't speak well about your situation or whatever's going on in your life, that's going to leave room for a void. And you know, in that void, if you're not saying anything good, that's going to leave more room for negativity to come into your life. And if you're not saying anything, that's just as bad as saying the bad stuff. And so, you know, I had to understand how that played a role in what would transpire in my life. And some people don't believe in, I guess, how would you say it? It's not manifestation. I think a lot of people believe in manifestation. A lot of people don't believe in God, which is, I mean, fine. But at the end of the day, I do. But even still, this is a biblical thing too. You have to speak. Your mouth is a very powerful tool. And so what you say matters. What you agree to matters. And so that's where I started to understand, and I started to look at things in life like I'm a very healthy person. And not even just because I say it, but I feel like I've always been healthy, and thank God for that. You know, so when things do happen, I have to step back, because I've also taken the time to reclaim my mind and look at myself and feel, you know, feel who I am, and start to declare and proclaim and walk in who I am. So things that don't look like who I am, it just, I'm like, okay, so you know, what's this? What is this test at the end of the day? And you know, the more I practice, the more it's like a gift. The more I practiced it, the easier it got to really analyze and dissect and be like, no, that it's not natural. It's like that's the spiritual thing for me. It's like, okay, so I'm starting it now, not with no tummy ache, because a lot of times and the more I used it, like understanding my body language, the more I used it, I got to be able to differentiate between, oh, okay, I need to eat something, or like something is going, like, okay, if I get a headache, sometimes I'm hungry. Sometimes, or the other half of it is like something, I need to sit down and think about something, or something's on my mind, and it's like, I guess there's no room for anything else, because I'm needing to address this one thing, or think about it, or talk about it, or just get it off, or whatever. My chest starts hurting, get it off my chest, or whatever. um but I mean, like I said, you know, that's not the case every time. Sometimes head hurt, you just might need to eat, or you might need to close your eyes. Girl, sometimes I do even pray, and it be like, child, yes, instantly. Instantly I feel better. But I mean, no, the whole thing, and the whole thing about it, I do think that this topic also came up because I was talking to someone from Twitter, and they just began to tell me about their life and how they feel unsatisfied, and they just feel like they're losing interest in a lot of things at the moment. And because I've been through it, I knew, like, and I feel like this is a thing. When stuff like that happens, it's because, in my opinion, my humble opinion, it may be inaccurate, it may not be correct, whatever. Life is trying to get you to go in another direction. And you know, you're sitting here thinking, you know, I want to do something else. I want to, you know, start this endeavor, this venture, but yet you're not doing it. You're not doing it. And so your body is becoming deprived, your soul is becoming deprived. And you know, some people can say, and you know, I depression, well, a lot of stuff can be diseases and stuff like that, but I do feel as if a lot of us put that weight on ourselves, and it's not just our fault, it's society as a whole. But that's why you gotta learn to block out and protect your peace, protect your body, protect this kingdom, because all of those things, it's like, I have another topic that I want to talk about. I don't know if I'm going to do it in this video, but I call it the tugs of war. And it's like every battle that you go into, it takes a piece of you, and it pulls and it yanks at something that is sitting on the inside of you. And it's what I've learned in life is your perception. You can choose to acknowledge it for the good, or you can let it wear and tear you down. And it's just kind of like, I'm at a point now where I want everything attached to me to look at life for the good of it. And even if bad may happen, you know, we were not promised a bad life, but we were not promised an easy life either. That's one thing that I also had to acknowledge, because some people, they never really say like what's good in your life. You know, it's always what's wrong. Or, you know, they never say you life wasn't meant to be easy, but life wasn't meant to be bad either. So I mean, you just have to really open your mind and start believing that you're worthy of good things. But no, back to the whole, life is it's a war. It is. But a lot of these fights you don't have to fight. And I feel like that for everyone. I don't care if you believe in God or you don't, because at the end of the day, you are loved, you are wanted, you are cherished, and you are smart, intelligent. You're and intelligent is the same thing, but you're beautiful. And I need people to understand that. I need even strangers, people that I don't know. I just I don't know. I don't know. I need that to be a thing in this world. And so it's just the body language, the understanding who you are and what's going on within these walls. Because after war is done, you have to repair. You have to repair. That's where the rest comes in, and that's where the analyzing and understanding. And then child, this is a lot. That's see, I probably need to actually sit down and go through notes and read and understand where this is coming from. But I know where it's coming from, because if a person, you know, if I can run into someone who's going through it, they're feeling like they're about to they're becoming depressed, and they're talking about not wanting to be on earth anymore, which is a very sad thing, you know, because it's not, I don't know. I'll talk about that some other time. But when I start to encounter stuff like that, it makes me know that you're not alone, I'm not alone, and the next person isn't alone. So what is it really that's going on? What can we actually say the truth about it? And it's just, I feel as if in this life, in this society, it's becoming easier. I feel like it's a lot easier than it was maybe like 10, or well, hell, I mean, probably about the last 50 years. But no, I think support from outside sources, you know, people all over the world, has increased. And people are much more loving. There's still bad people, but there's a lot of good people as well. I feel like news and stuff don't really broadcast everything that's going on. It's just kind of to keep us at odds and going against each other sometimes. But there's still good things going on, and there's still good people. And I think that in this point in time, it is kind of hard, because a lot of people, as I think I said in one video, they do want this insta grit kind of, you know, blow up or whatever, instead of putting in the work, starting small, you know, and building their way up. And sometimes you just have to get into your passion. Like for me, this is a passion for me, being able to talk about my experiences, being able to potentially encourage somebody to keep going and fight for their dream, fight for their right to party, you know. Fight for their right to survive. I mean, not even just survive, but live. And I talked about that, not really, but I mentioned it in a video, where living and existing are two different things. And I do want to do a video on that, but I think I might actually have to get some information on it and look into other thoughts and ideologies regarding that. But yes, it's just it's I don't forgot where I was at. Oh my god. But no, I mean, I don't want people to feel like that, like life is over, without really having the chance, having the chance to live their life. Because a lot of us, we don't know right from wrong, or we don't know good or bad until people start showing it to us. And a lot of the representation that we see in social media, that's not reality. And on TV, that's not reality. And you know, there's people who are trying to mimic what they've been seeing, what has been presented, and what seems to be thriving. And I don't know, I want to stay as far from that as possible, because who I am is beautiful. Who I am is strong, courageous. Anything that I can tell somebody else, I can tell myself, and it's because I believe it about myself. And so I want to share that with other people. I don't want to try to ever tear anyone down, because then that's it's like what you do to others is only it's a reflection of how you feel about yourself. And that's another that's another body language. It's just like hurt people, and that's not, I mentioned that before too, but that's not who I am at all. I've hurt one person in my life, and I apologize to her, I think twice. I think once in high school and once in middle school. And I child, you stay away from that. We stay away from that, please. Be good, be kind, be gracious to others, be gracious to yourself, because what you reap you do sow. What you sow you do reap. What you sow you do reap. And a lot of people don't live by that philosophy, but okay, girl, try it if you want to. Try it if you want to, but nah, just I want the best for that person, and all people who may feel as if there's no room for their gift, there's no room for their talent. And I know I said this before, but that's how important it is to me, because at one point, there's this strong thing on the inside of me that's like, I'm gonna make it, I'm gonna be good, and I'm gonna be happy, and I'm gonna be able to do all things through Christ that I can see and that I can envision. And then at moments, there's just like I don't know. And I had to talk myself out of this mindset. This is where I had to start speaking, because there was a void. There was a void in this position where I was saying, well, they're not looking for me, or they don't want this kind of person. And even growing up, my uncle, he said to me, I don't think they're ready for you yet. And I don't know. I can try to piece together, and I always hated statements like that, because when people are so vague, it leaves room for the enemy to play in your mind. And it's just like, young people don't understand how to block out certain things. So that's why I wish that a lot of adults were careful with putting their I don't want to say failures, but their disappointments on other people, and especially kids, because I took that thing, and I don't know, I could say it didn't sit with me, but in the things that I thought about, like, certain people don't like me, certain people aren't, and I mean, there are people in life that aren't gonna like you, but what I'm saying is, it was just always something pessimistic, even though I never said it out loud, and I always tried to be positive about it. It was just that seed lived on the inside of me, because somebody said something about my singing, the way I sound. I'm not the most masculine singer, I'm not the most masculine person, but because of that one statement, they weren't ready for me, and I didn't take the positive perception from it. It took me down a whole path that I had to unravel and undo myself. And I mean, I'm glad I did it, because I learned that I have power over my life, and that was a war that I had to fight. And I don't it did take a toll on me, but at the end of the day, it wasn't as bad as it could have been. I got more control over it than it did, and I am where I am now because of it, and I'm happy about where I am. I think that the fact that it's not about money for me, it's never been about money. That's why, I don't know, I feel more at peace than a lot of people I've seen in my life. And I'm very open about where I am, who I am. I don't talk to a lot of people, because everything isn't everybody's business. But and I learned that to honestly protect me, and I'm glad my mother, even though it kind of is still like something I struggle with, because if I want to be an online personality or have this presence, I'm gonna have to be online. But at the same time, my mother, you don't have to share anything, share everything. That's what she, told me, because I would overshare. But then I look at people like Beyonce and Nicki Minaj. They only use it really when they want to, and Nicki goes on hiatuses often. Often. But Beyonce, she only uses Instagram, and to me, well, unless there's another platform she uses that I don't know about, but I don't know, to me that just gives me hope that I will be able to be successful, and I don't have to be thirsty like a lot of people on social media and stuff like that. And I mean, to me, some people can say that's marketing, but I don't. It every different strokes for different folks. I'll say that my body, I don't feel as if I need to do that. I'm trying to do it more. My earphones just died, but I don't need them anyway. But I mean, I'm trying to do it more just because, I want to give everything in my life the best possibility of success as I can. And so that does make me happy. That does fill me with a little bit of joy. And it just, I feel like it shows because I'm giving everything, every talent, acknowledgement, every gift, attention, every facet about me, I'm giving love and what is it? Admiration. And it's that is something to be proud of. That is something to be happy about. And I don't want to just smile for cameras. I want the body language, what my body is saying on the inside, to match the body language that is being presented on the outside, and then to match what comes out. And it's there's just so much to it, and I just wish I probably can do another video on it. I might not put this one up because it is messy, and I want this to really serve its purpose, because people need to understand sometimes what's going on is most of the time signs, is things trying to kick you, push you. I mean, it's like angels trying to praying, screaming at you to do something different in your life. And whether it's changing up your diet or sending someone a message, or I mean, you're just acknowledging the feelings that you get. You have a feeling that I don't know, just acknowledge your feeling, what you feel. And I don't think anything's wrong with having feelings. I don't. And I'm not talking about being sad or being happy. I'm talking about unctions and premonitions on the inside of you. Think it's like, there's this strong like gravitation to me giving this, or me saying this, or me creating this today. Acknowledge your body. Body language. Body party. Okay, Sierra might have been on to something. She didn't go too deep, but she went deep. Okay, your body's my party. Let's get it started. Oh, I feel that. That's the theme song for this right here. Your body's my party. Didn't Jesus say that though? He delights when he wants to party with me. That's what he said. In Zephaniah, I think that's where that came from. There's like, I saved almost that whole chapter, because it was just a list of things that God wanted to do with me. And that is the word that I want to be filled in certain voids, in certain places where there was the negative seeds, and the seeds of you can't, or the seeds of you shouldn't, and just all that negativity. And just look at myself through the lens of divinity. And not saying that I am God, and I'm not one of those people that, oh, I'm God, no, I am the image and the creation and the love of God. Period. So I don't know, I hope that I touched on it. I feel like maybe I didn't. And I mean, as the more that I do this, the better that I will get. And I always watch my stuff. I don't know, God has given me this big love for myself. I love who I am because I can see so much potential and so much opportunity and talent in everything that I do. And I know that can only be God, because it's just like I haven't really touched where I can, but yet I see so much greatness, and it's just like my reality doesn't match the vision. But in some ways, it's like, why is that? And I'm learning a lot of stuff. It's like, I'm, like I said in one of my other videos about my peace, I'm glad I'm not where I feel I should be or where I want to be, because I wouldn't know how to handle it with certain things that haven't been undone and haven't really been acknowledged yet. But I don't know, I feel as if I'm in a good place right now, and I want others to feel better than I do. Oh my God. But that first starts with acknowledging your body language and the relationship, building a relationship with yourself, with God, and He will show you who you are, what you are. I feel that. I don't know, that's something that's important to me. But please, my thing is also, if you ever feel like you don't have anyone to talk to, or you don't know what to do or where to go with your life, please feel free to hit me up. I don't care what time of the night it is. Just also, please have patience. Oh my God, that's one thing about it too. Please have patience, because not everybody, will be able to get to you. And just because somebody hasn't gotten to you within the first 30 minutes doesn't mean that they don't care. People are busy, and that's one thing that I had to learn too. People care, but people are busy. People are trying to make something happen in their own lives, which is another topic that I want to talk about, because some people are trying to make it happen instead of just letting it happen. And that's a lot of, I feel, to society this day. But I heard a word, I heard a video about that. And it's all gonna fall apart soon, because there's so many people, I mean, so many people rushing to build something. It's not even, I don't know, I have a feeling about that. Then I heard that video, and I keep hearing stuff about that, and it just keeps being played over and over and again in my, like, I don't know, my spirit. And so I don't wish any bad on anybody's business, I don't. But I've seen a lot of people, never mind, anyway. Anyway, but yeah, I think it's important to honestly sit down and acknowledge, like, where you are, who you are, what you are, and be real. Be real about why you are where you are, what's going on, your circumstances, the possibilities, your dreams, your visions. And stop making excuses. Oh my God, because the excuses are killing you. The excuses are taking days, weeks, months, years from your life and from someone else's life, because we are our own doors. I heard this, not exactly said like this, but we are doors, but we are also opportunities and doors for someone else. And if you don't never go through the door, your own door, somebody may or may not get theirs. And I mean, even without someone's help, I believe God will come to us in the nick of time and get it to happen regardless. But it's just like, a lot of people have the opportunity to help someone, and I could never see myself being the person not giving someone the piece of wisdom or knowledge or aid that I never had, and I mean, that's what I was talking about. Hurt people. Some people look like nobody helped me, nobody gave me a handout. It's not about handouts. It's not about handouts at all. It is simply being a blessing in somebody's life. And one, this is probably gonna I was gonna end, but it'll make me want to go into something else. I do feel like a lot of people should charge, but when you're doing what you love, if you don't have more moments where it's free of charge and people willingly want to give to you because you're doing it, I don't know. I don't blame anybody for charging. Some people, you got to live. You have to live. But when it comes to the welfare and the mental state of other people, we should be so invested. So invested. I hate the fact that someone would ever have to pay for a therapist. I get that, that I don't understand why that's licensed. I don't, because it costs nothing to be somebody's friend. Even if you're not going to be their friend for a lifetime, it costs nothing to sit with someone and say, you are amazing, you are strong, getting to understand who they are, and listening, humbling yourself, and have, oh my God, so much respect. Because when you're really humble and when you really love yourself, it's not hard to love other people. It's not hard to love other people. When you believe in yourself, you can believe in somebody else. That's just that's my philosophy. I don't understand it. I don't understand it, but I do, I feel that whenever the money comes, whatever happens in my life, whenever it happens, it was ordained to happen. But I'm not the kind of person to beg people to subscribe or do anything like that. If you do it, you do it. Now, I get that you should say stuff. You should value yourself, but sometimes I value other people a lot more than I do me, and there's nothing wrong with that. I've had to learn that who I am is just enough, and I don't need to let this world mold me into something that doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying? Yes, I do need to eat. Yes, I do need to sleep. Yes, I do. Whatever. I need to do all things so that I can continue to minister, or whatever you want to call it, speak into other people's lives and be here to be a representation for someone that needs it. But at the same time, I want it to be accessible to all people, because I don't care if it's $10. Some people ain't got $10, and that's sad. That's a sad story. That's a sad moment not to have $10. I've been there, but even still, I was young, so I was with, I had someone to help me. But the people that don't, and they don't have anything, that's sad, and don't have anybody to talk to, girl. But I mean, I don't know. That's a ugh. I don't like that. I don't like it. But I understand. There's nothing wrong with charging. There's nothing wrong with that. But girl, therapy should be free. Friendship should be free. I don't know. I don't know. And if they want to sow a seed into your life, one thing that I heard, and I think TD Jakes said it, anything that's feeding you, you should. And it's even in the Bible. I read the verse. I think I saved it. But you should be given to that which fed you. That's basically the what it's insinuating. Anything that gives you knowledge, that makes you better, builds you up, you should be willing to invest in it, because they invested into you. Now, that's why it's okay for people to set, their prices and stuff like that. But also, even if they don't charge you, you should be willing to give $1, give a more than a thank you, because you have to understand, just as you have to eat, they have to eat. But then also, for the person that is giving, that service and serving someone else, understand people's circumstances, and come to them where they are. And that's what I love about society today. It is getting very flexible. There are a lot of people that are flexible, but there are people that they're not. But that is a whole nother topic too. But I don't know. This one is centered around understanding your body language, and I think I discussed all that I really can about it. It's just being attentive to your life and your purpose, your calling, your goals, and not putting them on the back burner for anything or anyone, because at the end, you are going to have to answer for what you've done. And what I really want for a lot of people is to have no regrets about what they did. Don't be mad at anyone. Don't be angry with yourself. Know that you did everything that you needed to do, and what you did was enough. It was more than enough. It was more than enough, and it made a difference, not just in your life, but in the surrounding, the people that came after you, the people that were near you. That's what it is. That's what it's about for me. But no, that did come up. It did come up because of I think the conversation that I had with that guy, and him just not knowing what to do. He wants a new job, and wants to start I guess a organization, a nonprofit. And I do too, actually. I would like to have a nonprofit. And I've already thought about it. I've thought about the concept and the whole purpose, and like what the I don't know. I would have to look more. I took a business course in high school, but but girl, I don't know. But no, remember to stay positive. Keep that with you. Spread it wherever you go. Love yourself and love others, and love your body. Learn your body language. Learn. Listen to your body. Listen to the whispers of God. Anything else, it's beneath you. But maybe I'll do a part two, because I do feel like this topic was a little bit more serious than I took it. But I mean, I'm a very, I don't know, I can be stern at moments, but then I also just have the bubbly personality. Like, I don't know, there's like this mix of it. But I pray on it and see. But no, yeah, that's the end of this one. Yeah.